Good morning, everyone. I hope you're warm enough. We had some of the seasonal changeover and found out we had some furnace issues. Hopefully that will be solved next week. Go get your jacket if you need to. Please join in singing our hymns. The first one is hymn number 95 in your hymnal. There is more love somewhere.
Next hymn is going to be Holy Now, which I will also introduce. When I was a boy each week, on Sunday we would go to church. Pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word and consecrate the holy land, and everyone would kneel but bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two, and Jesus made the water wine. And I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen happened still. Now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but never a magic trick. Is there anything here at all? So the challenging thing becomes not to look miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. But now I have to hold my breath, like I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world half there, heaven's second rate hand me down. But why will the reverend dare? 'Cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush and singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second rate hand me down. But I walk it with a reverent dare, 'cause everything is holy now.
Good morning. Welcome to UUCC. My name's Nancy Kelmy, and I get to be your lay leader today. This is the switch was turned this week, and everything, well, the furnace didn't work, but the colors and the sunshine, it's just wonderful. And I was happy to start wearing autumn colors, putting my sweaters back on. There's good parts and bad parts. So. Welcome to our members, our friends, and our guests in the sanctuary, and those who are home watching us on Zoom or YouTube. This service will be broadcast live, and images of the congregation may be shared on Facebook and YouTube. If you don't wish to be seen on social media, you can take a seat at one of the tables at the back of the sanctuary. Also, please refrain from talking while we're live, as the house microphones may pick up your conversation and broadcast it to the rest of the world. And please switch your cell phones to silent so your notifications don't disrupt those around you. Our building here is on Shaver Road in Portage, Michigan, on the ancestral lands of the Peoria and Potawatomi people. We pay our respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. This is a little brick church with a rainbow flag and the Black Lives Matter banner out front, because we believe that love is love, and it is our responsibility to dismantle white supremacy and build a beloved community that benefits us all. Our church is served most Sundays by our minister, Rev Gy McCartney, and we're a community on diverse spiritual journeys. So on other Sundays, we enjoy hearing from different points of view from guest ministers, lay leaders, or a guest speaker. Today's service will feature Rev Gy. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our visitors this morning. We're glad you're here. We invite and encourage you to ask any questions and look through the literature about our UU faith, which is displayed in the foyer and in the community room. If you're joining us online for the first time, welcome. We're excited you tuned in. To learn more about our church, including our programs for children and youth, and other opportunities to connect during the week, visit our website at www.uucommunitychurch.org. Special thanks to everyone who's contributing to make this service possible today. Our musician, our coffee hosts, our greeters, our tech team, and you. I have some announcements today. Once a month, we offer Thoughtful Thursday presentations on Zoom, where we bring in interesting speakers to share their stories and field interactive questions. Our October Thoughtful Thursday will feature a conversation with Libby Slocum. With a background in nutrition, reflexology, bodywork, energy psychology, and acupuncture and Oriental medicine, Libby is passionate about helping people be free of what is holding them back from full health on all levels. Be sure to join us Thursday, October 24th at 7 p.m. on Zoom for what's sure to be a fascinating conversation. Registration information on the event can be found on our website. On October 29th at 7 p.m., we'll be joined on Zoom by Reverend Tracy Levesque for a mini workshop on the sacred work of grief. During this workshop, you'll be invited to look at grief through a larger lens, as well as explore your own experience of sorrow and loss. Spaces are filling up fast, so visit our website to register for this workshop today. Our justice partners at Isaac are holding their biennial public meeting on Thursday, October 24th at 6:30 p.m. at Galilee Baptist Church in Kalamazoo. There will be food, music, and an opportunity to meet candidates running for office in Kalamazoo County. If it is yours to do, please consider attending this meeting to show UUCC's commitment to collectively working for policy practices in our community infused with hope, love, equity, and abundance. October is flying by. Before you know, it will be time for our annual Goods and Services auction on Saturday, November 9th at 5 p.m. In order for the auction to be successful, we need lots of interesting items to auction off and lots of enthusiastic bidders. Look for the link at the Friday email or on our website to RSVP and donate items and help us make this year's auction the best ever. Around the world on Sundays, Unitarian Universalists light the chalice. We're truth seekers and seek a truth that's strong enough to withstand our questioning and even our doubts. The flame reminds us of what we have in common, and we now bring it to life. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And now Rev Gy will lead us in a meditation and then her message.
Good morning. It's on, right? Okay. Good morning. I invite you to just take a deep breath and close your eyes if it is yours to do, and relax. And as you breathe in, just let your body relax completely. Notice the places in your body where you hold stress. And then tighten those muscles and then let go, release. And notice. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And notice your thoughts. Notice your expectations. Maybe there are expectations to have no thoughts. and release all expectations. In this moment, just be. No agenda, no past, no future. It's only now. No grocery list. No pain. No disappointment. Only now. And as you notice thoughts appear in your mind, just thank them for sharing their life with you and let them return to where they came from. Breathe in, breathe out. And now breathe into your heart space. And as you breathe into your heart space, just picture an opening, an expansion of your heart. Allow it to grow big, big, strong. Allow it to radiate its kindness, its goodness. Allow it to envelop you into its life force. And as you breathe, keep breathing into your heart space. Allow it to grow bigger and bigger. And imagine that heart space enveloping the person sitting next to you. The one on your right, the one on your left, the one behind you, the one in front of you. And your heart space is getting commingled with the person sitting next to you, with their heart space. And as you breathe into your heart, we are all connected. Allow yourself feel that connection. With this connection, we create community. We create the possibility to heal ourselves and one another. This connection is our hope for the future, is the base for this present moment. It is this connection we've ever wanted. Heart-to-heart connection. And so we stand in awe and gratitude, knowing that at any moment in time, we can stop, take a deep breath, breathe into our heart space, and then let the magic happen. And turn loneliness into community. Make pain bearable. Allow for the possibility of healing, mind, body, and soul. And for that, together we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you are ready, open your eyes and return your attention to this here and now.
I used to think I had to leave my own way, could do everything on my own. Living my life like a one-woman play, feeling confused and alone. Still I held on tight to the life that I knew, till it wasn't the life I remember. Finally admitted I hadn't a clue, opened my arms in surrender. And I made room for grace. I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day, since I made room for grace. I want to live without making amends, asking for help when I need it, being happy just doing the best that I can. When I stumble, I won't be defeated. And I made room for grace. I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day, since I made room for grace. If I had insisted on all that I wanted, see, I'd have sold myself short. But when I stopped resisting, I got what I needed and so much more. Since I made room for grace, I just stepped aside, opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive, since I made room for grace.
Oh, grace. Welcome, welcome, welcome here in the sanctuary and there on the holy interwebs. I'm so glad that you are here, that we get to spend this time together. Thank you all for making this Sunday experience happen. I love it that it's nice and, crisp in here. For once you won't fall asleep while I speak. Luke, thank you so much, and Steve and Pat and all of you, Stephanie, welcoming us, Darby. It takes so much to make a Sunday service happen, and I'm grateful for every single one of you. If all things go to plan, my talk would be nice and short. I don't have much to say, but I think what I do have to say is important. So maybe sometimes less is more, and also it's easier for me to be upright less than more. So I'll try to be nice and short. Okay. Today the topic is living inside out. And you know I always say this. You probably could, I could wake you up at 2 a.m. in the morning. What does Gy always say? She says, as within, so without. And that you have to square away this one before you go into the world, to change the world. You have to bring peace over here before you can bring peace out there. So you probably are quite familiar with that. And here's what I want to tell you today. We live in a time when the possibility for connection has never been better. There's the internet. It allows us to connect. We can connect with people around the world. In fact, on November 7th, and this is important, Byron Katie will be our Thoughtful Thursday guest. She's the author of Loving What Is, and I will be interviewing her. You will have a chance to ask questions. She will be in LA, and we will be here. I may still be in LA too, then, who knows? But I will be interviewing her. And it shrinks the world, right? The internet shrinks the world and allows the possibility for connection. And yet, we report that we have never felt more disconnected in the history of humanity. So, before COVID, out of 10 people in this country, more than one were taking antidepressants. That's a lot, right? In a world where we have fixed so much, we have levels of comfort that we've never experienced before. Again, there is this possibility for connecting, and yet we are depressed, anxious, and troubled. During COVID, this increased by 130%, the use of antidepressants among the age of 13 and 17-year-olds. So the use of antidepressants during COVID increased by 130%, and among 18 and 24-year-olds by 57%. So our sense of isolation and our troubledness further increased during COVID, at a time when information flows so freely and it's so readily available to all of us, and connection supposedly has never been easier than it is today. Why is that? Why is it then that we are so troubled, so lonely, and feel isolated and hopeless? Of course, there's not a simplistic answer to this one, because everything plays a role. The change of the environmental changes, global warming, that creates, especially for the younger generation, places a significantly heavier burden on them, because they are the ones who know they'll have to face it. We won't, they will. So it creates a heavier burden on them. But what else? So information is readily available, but information isn't necessarily true. Yeah? So information and truth are not the same thing. So while there is a lot of information out there, there is very little truth. And the reason there's more information than there is truth, because truth is costly. It is finding truth and coming up, discovering truth, that's costly. It takes time. Imagine that you want to write a book on the on there's a word, the dismantling, you know, how the Turkish Empire fell apart. Okay, you want to write a book on that. So in order to write a book that is truthful, that accurately depicts that time and everything that happened, you would have to do a boatload of research, right? It might even require you to travel to the former Byzantine Empire, go into libraries and look at old documents. You may have to engage somebody who can translate for you those documents from the original language. So finding the truth is very costly, right? Telling a story, telling a fiction is easy. Then you just tell a story. And then if you want it to spread as truth, you will just say, this is true, and then you repeat it often. And then you coerce other people to repeat it for you as well. And then these stories spread. And because we're human beings and we're addicted to stories, then there will be plenty who will believe it. But that's just a story. The truth has a harder time because it's costly. You understand that? It's very costly to get to it. A lie, you just tell a lie, and then it spreads. Or it's a fiction, you just tell a fiction, and then it spreads. Of course, there's more information than there is truth around, okay? Well, the same way, you walk into a bookstore, look at the self-help section. It's humongous, right? Humongous. It's the 7 steps to this, the 10 steps to that, the way to peace, it's all kinds of books. There's a lot of information there. And even though we have all these books, we are on antidepressants, we are depressed, we are confused, we struggle with anxiety, we feel disconnected from each other, we're lonely. Why is that? Because it's easy, and it can even be addictive, to go into these bookstores, buy all the newest, best books that promise you immediate results, and then we read them, and we have the information, we just don't have the transformation. And the reason we don't have the transformation, because transformation is costly. That one is difficult. That requires us sitting, facing our own shortcomings, the ways in which we have been hurt, how that impacts our lives today, the places where we feel victimized. And victims are violent people. Victims lash out. Then in today's world, I think we're even further from a solution. Because, and I hope I will say this in a way that will be crystal clear what I mean by it. We have created a generation that gets easily offended. They hear someone say something that triggers them, and they're immediately offended. And the instinct isn't to go within and see, what about me got offended here? How come I am so sensitive? But it is about trying to control the environment so nobody says anything offensive ever to me. And that is an uphill battle. If my peace of mind depends on what you say or don't say, I'm in trouble. Then I need antidepressants. And then I need therapy. But most importantly, I need to sit with this one and face the little goblins, the goblins that protect the doors to my biggest pain. And then open that door, go in there and sit with that pain and look at it. Why is it there? How is it impacting me? How do I lash out at the world and the people that I love the most because of that pain that I have collected inside me? And doing that is costly. Doing that requires to live with a commitment to constantly evaluating our thoughts. And I do hope that on November 7 you will join Byron Katie. Doing her work has given me the most peace of mind that I had ever known in my life. In fact, I do believe that it is because of the work and my connection with her work in particular, is that I am as sane as I am going through these health challenges that I'm going through. And I believe that that's why I am not depressed, that I still put one foot in front of the other. Because I do not expect reality to be any different than what it is. Never have I ever had the thought, why me? And why again? It just is what it is. Is what it is. I have learned that getting offended is an inside job. And that people are not responsible for my peace of mind. That is an inside job as well. But that requires some serious sitting with one's own self. And when that warm wash of shame comes, or that guilt comes, instead of running away and doing something that distracts us from it, you turn towards it, you face it, and then you heal it. And I've learned that every thought that occurs to me isn't necessarily true. Therefore, I have the willingness to question my own thinking. And that is peace of mind. Because every thought I think is not true. Every thought you think, my friend, isn't necessarily true. But if you believe it, it becomes your religion. And if it's your religion, you will practice it. And that will shape your life, your experience, and it will shape the experience of people around you as well. So I know that I am responsible for much here. And it is my full-time job to keep this one constantly in check, question this one, the assumptions, the prejudices, all the thoughts that come up. Is it true? Who would I be without that thought? And then once the light is shined upon it, then my experience changes. So, truth is costly. It is costly in the world, and it is costly within. Which is why we do not spend the time to face our own selves. Which is why lies spread easier, which is why we have developed an easily offended generation. Which is why all the self-help books haven't created the transformation. They've only offered some information. Transformation is an inside job. And it requires honesty. It requires commitment to sit with this one. And that is scary. That is uncomfortable. I can tell you, this one made me more uncomfortable than the collective of yous. This one has made me cringed more often than any one of you ever could. This one has made me more ashamed than anybody could ever imagine. And instead of running away from it, I've learned to face it so I may transform it. Information is not transformation. So now, of course, we've all spent a lifetime of working on ourselves. Hasn't it been enough already? By golly, we've been doing this forever. And I believe that as long as you have a pulse, you get to work on this one. For the sake of transformation. So here's to transformation. Here's to doing the heavy lifting. Here's to facing down one's darkness so it may transform and may become the light that heals within and heals without. And may we do that together and alone and all the time, because I believe that is the only way we can heal the world. As within, so without. And so it is. Thank you.
Those words today, G. It's time for our offering. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with the faith that together we have enough. There are a few ways to give. You may mail a check to our building, you may give electronically through our church website, or you can give using the VanCo app on a smartphone or a tablet, or you can place your offering in the baskets at the welcome table after the service, or the ones that the ushers are going to bring and pass around this morning. Thank you. Thanks, Luke. That sounded like clouds floating by to me today. It's time to extinguish our chalice. And as we extinguish the chalice, let us remember to keep the flame alive and awake in our souls, and let the light of the chalice bind us together, showing us the way. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
You are so beautiful. You are so wonderful. Release your inner light for your own sake and ours. And so it is.